What's up, kids? Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Eric, your humble malt user, in the house. We're doing a little live stream on a Friday. If you haven't figured out why, well, I guess I can tell you, even though it says it right in front of you. It is Friday, and way about 8 time zones to the east of me is a little place called Islay off the east coast of Scotland. Kidding, west coast of Scotland. And what they do there is they make a hell of a lot of good single malt peated whiskey. And today, the Feis Ile Festival continues virtually, unfortunately, because of coronavirus. But today is Boonehaven Day. And I have had a bottle of Boonehaven. I've had a lot of bottles of Boonehaven, but I've had a specific bottle of Boonehaven. I think probably over a year, if not longer, that I have just been waiting for the time to open. It just kept getting pushed aside. I'm not really sure why. But we're going to do it tonight, so the wait is over. Going to have a little Bunnahabhain celebration. Bunna is probably one of my favorite distilleries in all of Scotland, and top 3 on Islay for sure. And so the whiskey that I'm going to open tonight for our little Bunnahabhain celebration is this bad boy. This came out, I believe, 1.5 years, 2 years ago. This is Boonehaven. It is a limited release. It's just under 10 years old. 58.1% ABV, non-chill natural color, and it is a Moine Bordeaux red wine cask. Matured. So basically what we're looking at here, Moine means smoke. And so we're basically looking at a Boonehaven that spent up to 10 years maturing in Bordeaux red wine casks. Yeah, right? Sounds pretty delicious. So we're going to check this out a little bit later in the show. Here's what the bottle looks like. It's one of these limited release bottles. It is not a Feis Ile bottling. I don't have any of the new Feis Iles for this year, but I did have the Amontillado Moine from last year, which was awesome. They usually do 2. They do a smoky one and then one that's not very smoky. I think the one last year that wasn't the Moine release was the Madeira. In any event, let's get a little more light in here, shall we? There we go. Yeah, so we're going to get into that. But first, I actually have a cocktail that I'm finishing up here. And I also have a fresh bottle of Bunnahabhain 12 years old, which I think we'll start with, because if we're going to celebrate Bunna, we got to start with their entry-level release, which I think is honestly quite stellar. So if you got some Bunnahabhain, pour some in the glass. We'll have a little virtual Feis Ile on this side of the pond. I'm starting with a very un-Feis Ile drink. This is a White Russian. Looks like we got 7 folks in already, which is great. Timothy Juarez first in the door. What's up? Bunna, 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 indeed. Bunna. Bunna, 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 Bunna. Happy Feis Ile. Yeah, hell yeah, Mr. French. Duluth, Minnesota. Good to see you. Paul, Montreal. Good evening to you. Cheers. James Morgan. I wasn't expecting me either, but here we are. How are things in the UK? Late Friday night for you, I'm assuming. And our friend in Montreal, Paul's got some Bunnahabhain Chochek Da. That is that's a heavily peated one, if I'm not mistaken. I've actually not had that one. That one I saw. I keep seeing it, and it's just like been again on the list. I've just not picked up a bottle yet. I've heard nothing but good things about it, though. I have had a heavily peated. So just for folks who don't necessarily know, maybe if there's anyone watching that doesn't know a lot about Boonehaven. Yes, Boonehaven is an Islay distillery. They've been making their distinct single malt, which I would characterize as kind of a damp, earthy. It's got a lot of kind of dark dried fruit notes. It's got a little bit of a dustiness to it, warehouse effect. It's heavier whiskey. It's a very deep whiskey. They are a very lightly peated whiskey for the most part. Their 12-year-old, I think, is as lightly peated as it gets. So most of their stuff not distinctly very smoky or peated, but they do have some releases that are specifically much more peated. So an example of that is the Moine releases, which are kind of special releases. The Cho Chek and Da, which he has, Paul up in Montreal is sipping on right now. There are a few others. There's a really actually good one that's a travel exclusive called the Krokvana. Normally, the travel exclusives are not worth picking up. That one I think is, though. So everything's got a little bit of peat and a little bit of smoke, but it is not the star of the show with Bunna for the most part, unless you get some of those other releases. So let me know in the chat, what's your favorite Bunna? Or are you looking to get into Bunna? I can tell you right now, my favorite Boonehaven is probably the 18 years old. That was my whiskey. It was number 4 in my whiskey of the years for, what was that, 2019? And for good reason. It's incredible, super complex, dense, dark, heavy fruit, heavy notes. I mean, this is very characteristic of Boonehaven. Absolutely love that one. Since then, I have had some more special releases. I've had the limited release Manzanilla. I've had the Feis Ile Moine 2020 Amontillado. I've even picked up a few more Bunnas. Really, since then, I got so I have a Bunnahabhain 25. I haven't opened yet. This one I'm very, very excited about. 46.3%. That's one thing I love about them. All their stuff is nice proof. This is another one I haven't opened yet. It's kind of difficult to get your hands on. This is another limited release. It's a Pedro Jimenez finish, not a Moine release. It's not a heavily smoked one, but yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it. We'll get into that eventually, but today it's going to be this Bordeaux red wine. So my understanding is that they do one of these limited releases every year, and they're not necessarily very easy to get your hands on. They're not going to be sitting on the shelf at your local Total Wine. Sometimes you'll find, a good independent liquor store. They'll have a few. I found the Manzanilla at a place in New Jersey, for example. You can find them, but they're also very, they vary widely in how many batches they release or how many bottlings they do. So this is the one that we're going to do tonight. I'm wondering if they say how many bottles there were. Yeah, so this is bottle number 3,828 of 4,539. So there's, less than 5,000 bottles of this one. The Manzanilla, I'm not quite sure. Let's see. This is the one from last year. It's about 12 years old. Again, cask strength. It's a Manzanilla cask maturation, so it's full Manzanilla. This one they don't tell you how many bottles there are. They just say it's from warehouse number 9. Huh, they changed that a little bit. 11 years old. No, they don't actually tell you. Interesting. Probably have to go online to find that info. Nonetheless, don't let that dissuade you. They make really good whiskey. Both their finishes, their maturations, they do a really good job with this stuff. All right. Excellent. Good to hear. Good to hear, James. Mahir, what's going on in Delhi? New avatar, bro. Looking good? Only have tried the 12-year-old. We'll be trying the smoky too. Okay, so you're gonna do the Cho Chek today. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right at the beginning of it. It's an interesting distillery. like I said, I mean, I think it, you know, Isla is known for the heavy smoke, the heavy peat. Not really what you get out of Bunna, for the most part. But I don't knock them for it at all. Like, I think that they have a really unique profile and style. And the thing that you got to respect about Boonehaven, all of their stuff, 46.3%. It is, I think it's all non-chill filtered and natural color. This 12-year-old, I don't have a tube for. Yep, natural color, unchill filtered, right on the label, which is what you want to see. They do a craft presentation over at Bunnahabhain. Yep, this is non-chill natural too. Cask. About to go liquor shopping in about a half an hour. Planning to pick some whiskeys and gins. That sounds right, man. Excellent. Speaking of whiskey, let's get this 12-year-old in the glass and get the Bunna started. So this is the older bottling. It's before they changed the label. They've changed them a little bit. I don't know if the juice has actually changed or not. You know, there's always speculation about that when there's a label change. Wow, not much pop on that. It smells like Boonehaven, though. Here's the thing that I really love about Bunna. For the 12, I did a review of this a while back. If you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to, of course. The thing I really like about them, I get these very kind of dark fruit notes. I get the chocolate, the kind of roasted nuts. I mean, these are things that I pick up a lot on Boonehaven's profile. But this one, and I don't know why, I get the notes of like an old, musty downtown independent bookstore. I don't know why, but I do, and I love it. Oh, this is just delicious, man. The 12-year-old too here in the States, I mean, $55. It's an absolute steal, in my opinion. I think this is one of the best 12-year-olds you can get your hands on. It's got a little bit of alcohol in it, but mostly you're getting dark fruits, sweetness, toffee, roasted nuts, caramel, a little bit of sea salt. Man, it's good. It's my first pick for an integrity dram back in the day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Recently discovered a gin made on Islay, region of Scotland. I think Bruichladdich makes it. It's called The Botanist. I have not only heard of it, I have had it. Yes, The Botanist. That is a Bruichladdich gin. Yep. They have a 22 botanical release, which is probably the one you're talking about. And then I guess they've recently made a 33 botanical release. It's good. It's a good gin. You can sip it neat. I think it's, a little higher proof, which is always nice. And the cherry cordial thing on this is just killer. Bunna 12 drinks like an older whiskey. It just does. Excellent stuff. Yeah, Botanist gin is good. Do you use it as a mixer or do you kind of sip it neat? I have never mixed it with anything. I mean, I like martinis quite a bit, gin and tonics. I've never made anything with that stuff. I usually use like a bit more juniper forward London dry style, like Tanqueray, Ford's, things like that. But that's a good gin. It's a good craft presentation, all of that. Man, the only thing taking away from the perfection of this Bunnahabhain 12 right now is how freaking hot it is here in Chicago. It's like 90 degrees out. Bunna, not exactly a hot weather whiskey in my opinion. This is more of a winter warmer because it's so thick, it's so viscous. There's that little touch of peat, ever so slightly. It's just great. All around great. Is anybody else here a fan of the Bunna 12? God, there's even like a slight smoked meat quality to this. It's just sweet. It's delicious. This is awesome. I really enjoy the texture of their whiskey. It's very full. It's oily. Oh, there's like some nice apple notes in this too. Good stuff. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, Mahira was talking about the botanist. Yeah, botanist gin. I don't know what, I'd be interested to hear what that cost you over in India. Here it's like a $35 bottle. I mean, it's not cheap. 22 hand forged Isle botanicals. There you go. Huh. $50 in wow. $50 over in India, $50 Canadian too. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's, you know, I don't know how that translates over with U.S. prices or anything like that, but it seems to be like, yeah, that seems to make sense, I would say, for the most part. Just one sec, y'all. Okay. Apologies for that. $50. You're a fan? Yeah. You would love the 18. It's worth it. It's worth the price. With the way prices are these days with so many of these single malt whiskeys, I got to tell you, there are some that might still be worth the money. Boonehaven 18 is one of them. God, I love those things. Such a nice nose. So over on Isla today, the Boonehaven, I think they did a tasting of the new Bunnahabhain Feis Ile, which is a Marsala. I'm taking a look right now. I was looking at this earlier, but they've released an 8-year-old version of the oh wow! So they did an 8-year-old version of this for their smoky one this year, which is so strange considering this is almost a 10-year and they released it 2 years ago. I'm just pulling it up right now so we can kind of see what the program looked like today. Has anybody tuned into anything over there? It's all been virtual, so I don't know if you had to pay too much money or anything like that to attend these things, but it looks like it was a lot of looks like they did some somewhat interesting stuff. So the virtual stuff today for Boonehaven was, let's see, they did a live tasting in Warehouse 9, and then they did a dram straight from the cask. Oh man, that would have been fun. Jeez. And then they did a masterclass panel. of tasting the new festival releases, and they did a tasting of the 12. So the new Feis Ile releases were getting tasted today. They also did some straight from the barrel stuff, which is great. I've had the opportunity to have some stuff from Boonehaven straight from the cask, which is like I had a manzanilla. In fact, it was a manzanilla. It was absolutely delicious. I think if you were going to knock the 12, the only thing that could really make this like the perfect kind of entry-level 12-year-old, no frills, or well, just like accessible whiskey, the finish could be a little bit longer. I feel like it's a little shorter than you'd want. But again, it's a minor thing. Again, this old bookstore note that I get off of these Bunna 12s, I just adore. Fruit, nuts, chocolate. So it is a combination of sweet and I would almost say borderline sour savory. That's what you get on the profile here. Man, they do a good job of it. I believe this is all ex-bourbon cask, and that I think there might be sherry too. Let me just double check. Boy, it tastes like there's sherry. I mean, I want to just mention something here really quick. Earlier today, a friend of the show, Cohen, made a comment on my old Pulteney 15 release. Or no, it wasn't Cohen. It was somebody else. And they mentioned something about how like it's kind of ridiculous that old Pulteney doesn't mention if it's non-chill filtered or natural colored on their bottling, because if you go online, there's a lot of people who say that they don't chill filter and they don't add color, but they don't say it on the bottle. And to me, I'm like, why would I agree. It's like some of these distilleries, it's like, why wouldn't you say this stuff more prominently, or at least put it on your bottle? So here I am looking at this Bunnahabhain 12, right? This is just an example of like how you should do shit, right? Not only does it say it right here in bigger letters than this description down here, not unchill filtered natural color. Here on the back, listen to this in the little description section about the whiskey. By not chill filtering our whiskey, we ensure you can appreciate the full depth of flavors, aromas, and character that makes Bunnahabhain a consistently award-winning malt. They're proud of it, right? Like they want you to know that they are giving you a craft presentation. It's an ex-bourbon. I think it's ex-sherry as well. It has to be ex-sherry because there's definitely sherry in this. But like, right? And then you have somebody like old Pulteney who may not be actually chill filtering their whiskey, but you wouldn't know it because they don't say anything about it. This bottle says everything you need to know. Prominently on the front, 46.3%, and then on the back they tell you even more. Like they could have done more marketing fluff. Imagine if this was a Highland Park bottle. Like you'd have another paragraph of like, in 1703, the Viking blah blah blah. Like Boonehaven, they're just like, yo, we're not chill filtering this whiskey, and this is why. Because it will take away from the flavor and the experience, right? That's what we like to see. Let me catch up here on the chat. They recently released a 9-year-old gin aged in wine barrels. Okay. Oh, you're talking about Botanist. Okay. I actually recently had a barrel-aged gin in wine barrels. It's from a forged gin, and it's like aged for a couple months in Amontillado sherry. It's awesome. So what do you think of your new neighborhood? Are you settled in? Oh, yeah. I absolutely love it. I don't know how familiar you are with Chicago, but I am in like kind of the heart of like, one of the hearts. It's a very large city. So I'm in a very kind of like somewhat trendy, a lot of good bars, a lot of good restaurants, neighborhood that's very close to me, but I'm in, quiet residential area at the same time. There's a very large Puerto Rican and Mexican community over here. And so there's a great like hodgepodge of like traditional kind of Chicago working class bars, plus like incredible just like Mexican and Puerto Rican restaurants, mom and pop stop places, and then like your kind of more upscale boutique restaurants. And it's all just like smashed together on every block. So like I can walk a couple blocks and, go get some of the best authentic Puerto Rican food you'll ever get your hands on. And it's just like right there. And then I could go the other way and there's like a, bougie sushi place. It's great. Yeah. Very, very happy. Everything's worked out well. The Midwest Malt Den is done. It's done. The last piece was just making sure the shelves were, put up, and then the whiskey art or whatever. This is it. So we're all set up in here. Everything's good. So thanks for asking, James. Yeah, I appreciate that. Things are on the up for sure. Hey, Kapil, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, man. Our other friend over in Delhi, India. Raise a glass to you, man. How are you? Donner passes in the house. West Coast, California. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah. She'll be making an appearance sooner than later. Don't you worry. He's referring to my the cat that I'm in the process of adopting. Yeah. You'll be seeing her. She's going to be the unofficial the malt cat. We'll figure out something to call her. Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. Yeah. I thought so. I thought it was your. I don't have a tube for this, so I wasn't quite sure if it stated on there or not. But whatever. It looks like an old black and gold box. Bottling lucky guy. It is. Yes, it is. I got this in like one of those gift packs where it was like, get two. I got two Boonehaven Glencairns with it, and because of that, then you get like the they don't give you like a tube for the bottle, so it is this old bottle. I still see them around. The only thing you got to knock them for, and I hate when just distilleries do this in general. When you get these solid black bottles. Now, here's what I'll say. I'm not against it. I get the presentation thing, like the Bruichladdich Black Art does this. There's others. But if they could just do like a little strip down the side, right? They could just, so you could see the fill level. It's a minor criticism, but that would be great. Yeah. So this is an older one. They changed their labeling, I believe, 2018, 2017. Not quite sure. Let me see what else is going on. Indy, Vancouver area, British Columbia. What's up? How are you? Great to see you. Oh, the Canadian crew is in Ontario, in almost in Quebec. Is that right? Ontario, Quebec, Canada? No, that's not right. Ontario, Canada, whatever. I hope I didn't offend you, Peter White. Good to see you on a Friday, buddy. Happy Boonehaven Feis Ile Day. We are just enjoying a little Boonehaven 12, setting the palate up for an uncorking of what's I'm hoping is going to be a incredibly good whiskey. A Bunnahabhain limited released Bordeaux red wine cask matured whiskey. This is from 2018, 17, 19? I don't know. I've had it for over a year, and it's goddamn time I opened it. I'm going to have to pour a little bit more of this Bunna 12. I'm sorry. I don't mean to delay this, but God. It's just so damn delicious. And I can totally see why this worked so well with Manzanilla. Like they have this, there's a roundedness to Boonehaven and this kind of almond paste marzipan note, which is only accentuated by the Manzanilla. So if you've seen the limited release Manzanilla cask around in your local shops, it's worth a pickup. I've enjoyed it. It really, the Manzanilla cask plays really well with Boonehaven. So since we're sitting here talking about Islay Scotch, I was having a little bit of a chat earlier with Daniel on Instagram, and we were talking about if you had to rank your top, if you had to rank your Islay distilleries, It doesn't mean like the bottom is the worst. It's just your least favorite. For sake of brevity, if you could list your top 3 in the chat, top 3 Islay distilleries, they don't have to be number 1, number 2, number 3, just the top 3 in no particular order. I'd love to see what people have to say, and I'll share mine after folks drop theirs in. But yeah, go ahead and if you want to, drop those in the chat. I haven't noticed it. I don't have a new bottling to do side by side with this, but based on the one that I did a review of, I want to say circa like 6 months ago, I'm not noticing much difference. This one might have a little bit more vanilla and a little bit more. That's like the only thing I'm noticing that I remember, but without being able to do it side by side, it's hard to tell. Andrew Page is in the house. What's going on in Jersey on a Friday? All for fill level strips. Yeah, I totally agree, man. Yeah. I don't understand why they don't. I mean, maybe it's a cost thing. I don't know. I would particularly like that on like a, I was talking about like Bunna, the Bruichladdich Black Arts or something like that. It's something where it's like you're paying a bunch of money. It'd be nice to know how much whiskey you have left in the bottle. Apricots on this, man. He says, I'm very stoned. Enjoy it. Oh, you got legal weed in Canada. Well, I actually, Chicago, the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois now has legal weed. So yeah, there are dispensaries around my neck of the woods. I have not smoked any weed though. Enjoy that. All right. Is anybody taking on the? Nope. Nobody's got their top 3 Islay distilleries. Okay. I'm gonna drop mine in just for the sake of controversy then. Again, no particular order. Oh fuck! This is not easy. All right. Do I feel? It's the third pick. I have 2 that I know for sure. It's this third one that's really, really tough. All right. Oh, God damn it. There we go. So for me, Laphroaig and Boonehaven are no-brainers. The tough one for me is Ardbeg at 3. And the problem is because I also really love Lagavulin, and I also really love Bruichladdich, particularly the peated stuff. But here's where the problem comes in for me. Here's where the dilemma is on these 3. Ardbeg makes the Corryvreckan and the Uigeadail, which I think are better than pretty much anything that any of these other distilleries put out as their regular stuff. And so that's why it's really tough for me not to that's why it's tough. That's why I give Ardbeg the edge, even though I think I like more Bruichladdich things. I just can't do it. That's where I'm at. So you did notice a little bit of a difference. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I did it. So when Highland Park did their whole rebranding thing, I did a comparison of those 2, and like I did notice some batch variation, but it was tough for me to say that they had like consciously changed the formula or something like that. Like there's a difference I think between the batch variation and the like, oh, they changed the labeling and then they're also changing like the entire quality of their spirit or something like that. That said, I've heard, Boonehaven maybe took a little bit of a step back, and so it's not surprising to hear you say that, Donner. Just a little bit different. Yeah, okay. Hey, East Texas, Daniel. Was your ear ringing, man? Because I was just talking about you. How are you, man? Hey, Gene. Nice to see you, man. Happy Friday. Cheers. I'll raise a glass to you, buddy. Thanks for joining the stream. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, everybody give Gene a welcome, man. It's great to have you. And, you know, we normally do, here on this channel, I do reviews every Friday. And there's a live happy hour every Tuesday at 8 Eastern. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to subscribe and you'll get, you know, keep you in the loop on that. But great to have you. Bunna, Lagavulin, Laphroaig. Okay, yeah. So I'm right there with you, man. God, it's hard. Like for me, Boonehaven and Laphroaig are my two guaranteed favorites. It's that third one, and I edge it a little bit with Ardbeg, but not by much. It's so hard, especially when you get into some of the more like older. I think for me, the thing with Lagavulin is that like I just wish they had some more core releases. You know, like everything is like a special release with them. But I totally get it. I totally get it. Thanks for sharing that, buddy. And cheers, man. Thanks for swinging through. We got 17 folks in, which is great. Donner Pass, Bunna, Brooklady, and Kilhoman. Kilhoman. Okay. There's a Kilhoman. Nah, we're just doing our top three because I was talking about Boonehaven. Folks saying hi to Gene. Welcome Gene to the channel. Yeah, man, great to have you, Gene. Thanks for swinging through. If you're not opposed, you can share what city you're in, and that way every time you come on, I will do my best to say hi to you and mention where you are joining us from. Tonight, so far, we got folks in Canada. We have the UK. We got folks across the United States, California, Texas, everywhere in between. So we got a good crew. Interesting. Metallic finish. Okay. Daniel says Brooklady, Laphroaig, Ardbeg. All right. Paul, Ardbeg, Lagavulin, Kilhoman. Mahir, Laphroaig, Lagavulin, Ardbeg. Okay. These are some good choices. Kalila Indie Bottles and Kilhomans are right there neck and neck. Yeah, Kalila Indie Bottlings for sure. Yeah, Slancha, buddy. Cheers, man. Happy Friday. Older Bunnas. Oh, yeah. Hey, beaming his signal from the island of Oahu in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the Hawaiian Islands. It is Juan. What's good, buddy? Happy Friday. Good to have you in. Always good to have Juan in the house. Aloha, indeed, says James Morgan. What's up? Somewhere out in the southwest desert of the United States, we are getting the signal from Vegas Art. Lagavulin, Laphroaig, Bunna. San Francisco, Gary K. What's up? Gene's in Toronto, Lockdown City. Okay, so we got another Canadian crew in here. Peter White is in Ontario, and Indy is out in British Columbia. If Ben Demon Hunter is here, Ben Demon Hunter is usually in near Calgary. We got Paul over in Montreal. We are spanning the North American continent here tonight, y'all. Awesome. Okay. Great to have everybody in, man. We are sipping Bunna. We're talking Boonehaven. Boonehaven's been increasingly one of my favorite distilleries, and so now we're going to do it here. As I mentioned in the description, I have been sitting on this bottle for like 2 years or a year or some amount of time. It's been at least a year. And I don't know why I haven't opened it. There's no good reason, but it is Friday, June 4th, which it is still here in the United States. It is officially Boonehaven Day over on Isla during the Feis Ile Whiskey Music Festival, which is something that happens every year. And so I thought we would show some love, and I would show some love to one of my favorite distilleries, Boonehaven, by having some 12-year-old. And now I'm going to open up a limited release Boonehaven. I believe this is from 2018. It is the Boonehaven Moine, which means smoke. It is the Bordeaux red wine cask matured. It is 58.1%. It is just shy of 10 years old. It is non-chill filtered natural color. All the good stuff. So I'm super stoked to open this. I've been sitting on this bottle for a while. I have heard good things. We are looking at a red wine, matured, not finished, but matured Bunnahabhain of near 10 years. So it's going to be young. It's going to be smoky. It's going to be peaty. It's going to be kick ass, I hope. Oh, wow. Okay, the nose is already amazing. I could smell it right when it came out. It smells like a Ugadal. Fresh glass for this. Happy Feis Ile. A quick size dram. All right. And we got 19 folks in, which is awesome, man. Thanks everybody for joining so far tonight. Folks saying hi to Gene. Great. Glad we're welcoming them in. Agreed. Old Bowmore. Love Bunna. No, this is peated. Or it's at least smoky. So Moine, Boonehaven has like this range called Moine. Moine is like, I think, Scots Gaelic for smoky. And so anytime you see that on a bottle, you're going to find it's going to have smoke and peat. So when they do 2 Feis Ile bottlings each year, they usually do a Moine and a regular release. So this is a Moine. Yeah. So this is just short of, this was bottled on December 18th, 2008. It was, distilled then. It was bottled on February 26th, 2018. So it's a 9-year-old whiskey. It is bottled 3,828 of 4,539. So there are not very many. And it is 58.1% non-chill filtered natural color. That is the tail of the tape on the Bunnahabhain. So yeah, this is going to be a smoky one, and boy, you can smell it. Oh, snap. What's up, Angel? How are you? You're too funny. Thanks for swinging through. Do share, Gary. Do share. Take care, my hair. Happy hunting out there today. I know you're going shopping. Yeah, have fun shopping. Folks are saying happy hunting. Don't hold your breath. Yeah, this is looking good. So yeah, let me make sure everybody sees this. This might end up being something I'm going to have to give samples out on Patreon if it's as good as it smells. Look at that. Ain't that a beauty? You can eat. It's hazy already. Red wine and Boonehaven heavily smoked. What can you say? Okay. Gary, don't play, man. I appreciate it. Gary's always got some bottle to share that you're just like, what? How do you have this? Let me just take a quick look here and see what else they have to say on here before we get into this. 1881, only accessible seafaring distillery, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Moine does mean peated in Scots Gaelic. They've taken the opportunity to fully mature their beloved Moine in red wine casks from the Bordeaux region of France. There you go. Okay. And here we go. Let's check it out. Wow. Okay. A really, really fantastic nose. It is rich and smoky, like a campfire, but there's a lot of grape. There's a lot of just red fruit. It's, if I was going to compare it to something, it's like a brighter version of Ugadal, or it is most if anybody has had the Port Charlotte MRC01, it's kind of similar to that. There's chocolate, there's dried fruits. This is a very lively whiskey, and but it has that classic Boonehaven just kind of density. Incredible nose, great legs on it too. Oh yeah. Okay. The nose on this is really enticing. When I think about other heavily peated red wine cask matured whiskeys I've had, one that I really didn't care for that much was the Kilchoman red wine matured. I know I'm in the minority on that. Conversely, again, I mean, I know that the Ugadal, this is very much like Ugadal on the nose, just a bit more forward with the fruit notes. I know Ugadal is sherry, but little alcohol. I mean, this is 58.1%. All right, I got to get into it, man. Sláinte, happy Feis Ile Day or Boonehaven Day for Feis Ile. Oh, man. How old is this? Less than 9 years. Oh, wow. This is really good. Okay. I don't want to be dramatic about it. This is definitely the best Bunnahabhain I've ever had. This beats the 18. Even at 9 years. I haven't opened that 25 yet. Oh my God. It arrives like very rich. It's almost just like it's this viscous, dark fruit, dried fruit, chocolate raisin. And then it develops, and again, at 9 years old only here, you get this surge of the roasted nuts, the toffee notes. The red wine is giving it like an acidity and a tanginess, but it's in balance with the like thick viscosity of kind of the Boonehaven bourbon cask, which is what it kind of tastes like, even though I know this is fully matured in the Bordeaux. And then pepper. And it just blows up, and you get a slight citrus. You get some dried honey. It's tarry. It's oily. It's still, I mean, the finish is still going. I feel like I've just eaten a piece of a coffee cake with some dried fruit on it. That was, and I'm at a bonfire on the beach. Holy, wow. I can't believe this is only 9 years old. Man, I got to do another sip here. The nose on this is just, it's like let me try and be precise here. It's like a some type of like yogurt parfait that has some dark chocolate on top and then a bunch of rich berries in it. And they all just like come together in this kind of thick, harmonious berry chocolate flavor explosion. Little bit of, I mean, it's a little bit of alcohol bite, but this is a neck pour, I guess it makes sense. Wow. They hit the jackpot on this one. This is better than the Manzanilla limited release, hands down. Hands down. I wasn't sure how. I knew the Manzanilla would play really well with Boonehaven's profile. I wasn't sure about red wine. This not only like meets the expectation, it's killing it. There's a perfect balance of the wine and the character, like the kind of dark, chocolatey, malty, slightly earthy notes that you get off of classic Bunnahabhain. That like it never pulls too much in one direction or the other, so you'll feel as though it's been like overdone. 9 years old. This is the best Boonehaven I've had. I'm not even kidding about this. And I've had, I've had some Feis Ile releases. The 18, which I absolutely adore. I would buy this over the 18 at half the age. I got to try a little water on this. 58.1%, which again, like cask strength. We'll do a couple drops. Sweet, creamy berries. This is going to be included in the next Patreon sample raffle for sure, because folks got to try this. Water. It takes a little bit of that edge off. Because this is a young whiskey, like it can't hide that. It is a bit of a like shock. The water takes a little bit of that edge off. It's extending the finish. Much more roasted nut, chocolate covered cherries, chocolate covered cashew, I don't know, dark chocolate, raisins, chocolate raisinets. Dark chocolate raisinets, is that a thing? Should be, because that's what's happening in this. Just rich, creamy berry, raspberry, blackberry, grape, red grape, not green, red. This is overripe red grape. Like the ones you bite in that are really soft and you're like, God damn it, I wanted the crisp one. But the flavor is like deeper. That's what's happening here. This is great. This is a great whiskey. God damn. Boonehaven limited release. I think this was 2008. This is Bordeaux red wine cask. The unfortunate reality, I believe, at this point with this whiskey is that this is something that's going to cost you on second. You're going to have to find it on secondary market, and it'll probably be $200, if not more. Is it worth $200? Tough call. If you love Boonehaven, maybe. But I'm trying to think. I mean, here's the thing. With Boonehaven, everything is like within $200 until you go above the 18. The 25 is like $700 in so many places. It's unattainable for most folks, including myself. I got lucky and found it for much cheaper. But if you're looking for a high-end Boonehaven, I might go 200 on secondary market for something like this. It's that good. If you like Uigeadail style of the sherry influence on a heavily peated whiskey, I'm trying to think of other like equivalents. I wouldn't say this goes as far as something. I mean, like Loch Gorm. It's not quite. Well, Loch Gorm might be an example, but Kilchoman has that very fresh, citrusy, earthy forward peat. So I wouldn't say it's like that. It's more like Uigeadail, darker, more maritime, more rich. I was thinking about Lagavulin Distiller's Edition, but the PX is too sweet. This doesn't have that level of sweetness. I mean, I don't put final scores on these, so preliminary, I mean, this is a 4.5. The only thing that could make this better would be more age. If you could get this at like a 15 years old, dude, even this sip right now, compared to the first one, is 3 times better. If there's one thing that, yeah, that's the only thing that could be done to this. This is a top shelf whiskey. Absolutely delicious. The red wine is working magic with this Boonehaven distillate. Holy shit. I did not expect this. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna stop. God, there's nice tobacco notes here. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna catch up on the chat. I know I'm like waxing a little bit here. Here is heading out. Oh, you got that as a gift. He's talking about this. Jesus, man. Have you opened that yet? Just noticed your whiskey poster on the wall. Your Maltese is good. Yes, that was the last thing that I needed to put up. So we got the whiskey poster there. I have the oil painting of Isla right there. And that's it. That's it. So the whiskey, the Midwest Malt End is done. Yes. Nothing else left to do. It's staying how it is. Yeah, I liked it. Little young. I mean, you know, you could tell it was young. Oh, well, oh my. Okay, Donner Pass. Yo, man. Email me, man. malt.musitor@gmail. I don't know when I'll get it to you, but I'll get it to you. You got to have this. You got to have this. More. Wow, he says. I just got a bottle of MRC01 recently. It's been on my list since Alex talked about it. I love it. Now, I've heard the MC01 is better. I have a sample that Quig sent me. I've not actually drank it. I know it's a little bit older, but the MRC is the one with the red wine, and I thought it was fantastic. Yeah. Dude, you dig it, Gary. This is a good one, man. This is a good one. This is fuck. To be totally honest with you, I didn't quite expect it to be this good. And it's getting better. It's getting better. Like literally I'm like surprised by how much the richness is like taking over and the little bit of alcohol sharpness that I got is going away. This is just phenomenal. IPA. It does cost more than the 18. Yeah. I mean, you know, you're going to play secondary market for this at this point, unless you find it at, you know, on the shelf randomly somewhere. I'll be honest. I mean, this is close to worth it at 200. Oh yeah. Glenfark was 25. Is that the regular standard release 43%? Fucking bummer, isn't it? Yeah. I think, Andrew Page, if I know you and I think I might know enough about you, you're probably just like, come on, man, this is 25 years old. It's like, what is this? Such a bummer. Such a bummer. Yeah. Yeah. Well said, Donner Pass. Well said. You are not lying. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, shoot me an email, dude, if you want. I'll get you a sample of this. You have to have this. Yeah, I've seen some signatories and stuff. I've never bought one, but considered it. I mean, this is giving me like reason to believe to, you know, you see some of these signatory releases like that are Boonehavens, they're like 68% alcohol and they're like a Boonehaven 8-year-old or a 7-year-old. And I'm like, oh fuck. Like, I don't know if I want, you know, like I don't want to pay $110 for like that young of a whiskey, but I'll tell you, this is stellar. This is better than, I mean, this is better than I expected it would be, for sure. I think it's probably worth it at its price, worth it at 200. It's just so good. There's this magic in this. There's magic in this. The Manzanilla doesn't have this. Mm-mm. In fact, let me just. Just as a point of comparison, this is the limited release Manzanilla that came out last year. Again, I mean, right? I mean, like they're basically, these are the same kind of bottlings. They're both. Let me see if I can actually get this right into the camera. You see this now? Okay, that's what we got going. I'm going to pour some of the Manzanilla. I don't want to hate on this because I do like the Manzanilla, but it is not compared to this. This is 11 years old. Again, full Manzanilla. This is 52.3, so a little bit less ABV. I think this will be an interesting thing just as a comparison because, yes, Manzanilla and red wine are light years away from each other, but these are both about $200 whiskeys when you find them on the shelf. Oh, it's a great nose on this. Manzanilla it's a kind of a funkier sherry. You get a lot of kind of much more like almondy notes, and that's because I'm taking stuff off of the top of it when it's when it's aging. Much smokier, a bit more intense. It is really good, but it's nowhere near as interesting or as dynamic as this red wine. This is a bit more by the numbers. I think it's still a worthy buy. I mean, I would put this in that like 3.754 range out of 5. But this red wine Bordeaux is more 4.5. This just kind of accentuates what Boonehaven's characteristic distillate notes are already, the Manzanilla, versus the red wine Bordeaux, which actually adds to it. So it's bringing more to the table. I think that's one of the key differences here. The Manzanilla is also not peated. Really good. So I will mention this in full disclosure. I had a hand-filled distillery bottling of, it was like I think it's like a half bottle of Manzanilla cask prior to this release from Boonehaven, and I finished it when I got this and did a comparison, and that one was better. But this one is still really, really good. Yeah, pardon me. That's what happens when you have long hair. It's a thing I've had to get used to. Let me catch up on the chat. Oh, please. Please do. Please do. That would be awesome. Yeah. Hey, man, you got to tell me what's up with that Smoky too, because I probably need to buy it. I did order a Bunnahabhain that was aged in PX and bourbon from some Single Malt Whiskey Society. Okay. I've been told it's fire. Oh, nice. Yeah, man. That sounds fantastic. Did you rate the Ardbeg Black Pinot? Yes. The committee release was like a 3.75 out of 5 for me. The limited release was like a 2.25. The limited release I thought was absolutely atrocious. Of the of the Ardbeg Black. The committee release, though, the higher ABV version, was good. That's what I thought. I thought it was much better than the what was the one that came out the year prior? I've put it out of my mind. 2018. The drum. Was not a big fan of the drum. That I thought was a disappointment. Before that, it was the Grooves, or 2019 was the Grooves was a red wine one in 2018. I thought that was okay. And then 17 was the Kelpie. Kelpie was okay. I have an unopened limited release Kelpie. I'll get to that one of these days. And then 16 was Dark Cove, and Dark Cove was awesome. So, they've been all across the board. I do have the Scorch. I've tasted the Scorch. I don't think the Scorch is as good as the Black committee release, the Scorch committee release. I don't think it's as good. I think the Black was a little bit more interesting. But they're both better than the drum, in my humble opinion. Sample it and pass on it. Okay. Good to know. Trigger there, but Mary liked it a bit more than him. Are you talking about the drum, or are you talking about the Black? It's good. I like it, but not as good as the 12 for my taste. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, Carchis. Yeah. The ported red one, have you heard about the one that's coming out this year? Get ready. PX Cask Strength. PX Cask Strength is going to be our Carchis this year. Get excited. You're talking about the Black. I mean, I liked the Black committee. I was really disappointed in the Black limited release. I thought it was just it had no finish. It was a sample from Telex. I just couldn't believe the drop off between the two. I was really, really disappointed in that. But I liked the Black committee release quite a bit. I thought they did a damn good job. I know some people hated on it. I'm not sure why. It was good. Yeah. Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Gary, have you had the Scorch? Haven't opened it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so that you're seeing that now. Have you picked one up? I'm just going to assume you did. It's okay. One sec. Man, I am really enjoying these Bunnas. He's got one coming. Excellent. I'm going to be really interested to hear what you have to say. I wonder if it will be parallel to kind of what I thought. Unopened Scorch. I haven't opened Scorch. Okay. He's got one coming. Great. I thought the Black standard release was good and worth the one price of $120. Only other release are bag bottles, Kelpie, Perpetual. Liked both. Had samples. Oh, wow. Okay. What's the best Ardbeg you've had? Dark Cove. Dark Cove is the best Ardbeg I've had. Ugadal is right there. It's really hard to hate Ugadal. Now, I do have a lot of unopened Ardbegs behind me that I need to do. Not to be like a dickbag about it. So I have a single cask McCallup's 10-year-old from 1991 that I got to do. I have a Supernova here. I have a distillery release Perpetuum. I have an Ardbeg Renaissance from 1990s that I got to do at some point. I have the Ardbeg Day committee release, which is like one of the first committee releases they did. This is in like 2007. I've lost a bit of it. I have a Trevon Batch 2, which I got to do. Kelpie. I've done the Kelpie committee release. What's behind there? Dark Cove. I don't have a Dark Cove committee. I just have the regular. And I got some Scorch committee releases. So I have like a healthy amount of Ardbegs that I need to do. I just don't have. I think the next one I'm going to do is that single cask from the 90s. I think that'll be the one. The Ardbeg Day, I had 2 bottles. I sold one of them. The unfortunate reality is that they had leaky tops. And so I've lost, I haven't even opened this, and it's down to below the neck from evaporation and just leaking, which sucks. Yeah, I have a regular Perpetuum too, but the Perpetuum committee release is probably the one that I'll, look to open next to that single cask. Whoop. What's going on here? There we go. I think that single cask is going to be really good. So, yeah, that's the best I can do for you on that, Indy. Stick with the dude. It's better than the wee beastie. I say stick with the oogie, but that's me. I am too, dude. I am too. Apparently, they just rushed it out. I think this. So normally, the schedule with Ardbeg is you get the committee releases at in March, and then you get the limited release in June or July. But I think this year, because they did that thing with the Mickey Heads rye cask one, everything was all up, right? So the Scorch didn't come out until end of April, and now they're just rushing out the regular limited release Scorch. I'm seeing people trying to sell them on secondary market. Yeah. It is. So I have a 2012 Oogie, and I have a 2010 Corey Vrecken up there too. So I have a couple older versions. The Corey Vrecken. Oh, let me see if it's even up here. I'll fucking knock this over. That's the Oogie. Yeah, the Corey Vrecken I still haven't wrapped up and stuff. I don't even have it even close to open. Damn, Eric. LOL. Peter, all you need is a 1967. Yeah, right. I need more than that. 100%. 100% agree. Draminator. Draminator says, sometime when you have lots of extra time, you should give us players a tour of your background. Sounds great. Yeah, I would happily do that. Now that I have it fully set up, so most of the time I've been doing this channel, most of my whiskey has been in plastic bins in other places because I haven't had it in the background. So this is 75% of it. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bins of stuff, but nothing super interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would happily do that. It's a monolith to my degeneracy in some ways. I can't stop buying certain things. I think the things that folks would be most interested in, I have some Lefroy batch 4 and batch 3 cask strengths. Obviously, some of these Ardbegs are kind of old that I went through. I have Lagavulin Feis Iles and jazz festivals, stuff like that. Bunch of Cavalans. But yeah, no, that would be fun. Maybe I'll do one of those. Like I've seen like Food Quick and stuff do like a home bar review or whatever. Maybe I can put one of those together. That would be fun. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything that's like. Oh, the only thing that I have that I think is like. Yeah, seriously, it does. The only thing that I have that's probably like super interesting to anybody. It's in a box up there. I keep it in a box. I have a Lagavulin 16 White Horse, like 1990, which is like, let me see if I can actually find it. Hang on. Oh, yeah, here it is, actually. I keep this one just like, I don't want it to get any more damage than it already is. This is probably like the rarest bottle that I have. Let me see. So this is... Yeah, so this is a Lagavulin 16. This is a White Horse. So this is like, you can see the difference because it has the classic Malts of Scotland thing on it. The box is obviously not in great shape. I want to be kind of careful with this. So here's this is the bottling, right? So you have the more dynamic Isla thing there. You got the tag. It has the White Horse Distillery thing on the, 6 Malts of Scotland. It says White Horse explicitly on it, all this. So this is a Lagavulin 16 from like I think this is a 1991. So it's not an 80s one, but it's like the second or third to last one that they did before it was fully, just Diageo. So the box is like green. You can kind of tell. You can hardly tell, but it's like it's much more green than the others. It says right there, White Horse Distilling, all that kind of shit. This is the rarest one that I have, probably. This box is in such shitty shape. So I kind of keep it just like in here. I'm gonna open it one of these days and try and do a comparison between this and the 16-year-old just to like see how much it's changed. But other than that, I mean, I think there's some Cavalans. There's a couple like I've sold most of my rare bourbon. There's a couple rando scotches that I think are like somewhat rare. Some Balblairs. I got a bunch of old Glenmorangies, but nothing compared to a lot of folks. I know that. But yeah, I'll do it, man. That sounds like fun. Jealous Noah's Peter White. Oh, okay. Good to know. What about y'all? What are your most prized bottles, or do you have any bottles that you guys just like? These are like my, those rare ones that you got your hands on, or the ones that you just, your showcase bottles. I'd love to hear. This is wild. Distilled in 1975 green. Oh yeah, the White Horse. Right. Yeah. It's 43%, but I've heard just like it's a different time, right? I mean, this is before the whiskey boom, so they were not, just pumping the shit out like it was water. Yeah, I ended up getting a really good deal on it, and I just had to buy it. The only distilleries that I think I have older bottlings of that are of interest is like, other than that Lagavulin is like, Ardbeg. I have some old Ardbegs, some old Lafroigs, I guess, but I have a 28-year-old Lafroig. I got some of those old green tube 18-year-olds. I got a couple old Octomores, but nothing like, incredible. Yeah. You know how it goes. I wish I could get my hands on more things. yeah, Parker's Heritage. Yeah. Totally, man. 2016 birthday bourbon. Jesus Christ. Yeah. 50-year-old Spanish brandy. Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah. I'm sure some of y'all, and I know Peter White, before he even jumps in the chat, I'll save you the typing. Peter White has a 1975 Annock. Sorry to steal your thunder, buddy, but I know it's coming. I know you're gonna type that in any second. And my God, would I love to try that? But he did. yeah. 93 Gordon MacPhail Ball Blair, Longrow 17 Chardonnay Cask, Deanston 97 Pel Cortado. Wow. Paul's got some top bottles. Octomore 11-1, 11-3. Great bottles. 53, and they're all open. Lots of small samples. Most prized bottles. Lafroig 25. Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Lafroig 25. Yeah. You all got some good shit, man. Those are good ones. Yeah, no, I feel you. I don't really seek out older stuff, like rare stuff either. It's just like when I see it, I suddenly become somebody that looks for rare stuff, you know? So I was in the shop today here in Chicago, and they had 2 bottles of the the Compass Box Spice Tree, which I really like. Now, they had the regular one that you see all the time, and then they had one of these older ones with like the full gold tree on the box. And it was $70. And I'm like, shit, is this one of the bottlings that came out prior to the Scotch Malt Whiskey Association clamping down on them? But there's no age scan. So I'm like, fuck, I don't know. So I didn't buy it, but I hid it. Kind of hid it behind the others because I'm like, I might come back couple days, think better of it. but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a moment where I was like, oh shit, I didn't want to spend $70 today, but now that I see it, I'm like, damn, maybe I should, because what if it's an older version? I don't know. You know, what could you do? Exactly. Yep. Peter White, Van Winkle, Rye. Okay. Wow, 2012 GTS. Okay, that's serious. Sullivan's Cove. Okay, I don't know much about that, but yeah, dude, 2012 GTS. You could flip that on secondary market for over $1,000 easily. Just saying. Or you could just, gift it to your favorite whiskey reviewer, Eric the Malmuser, and I could do a whiskey review of it. Yeah, just saying. Yeah, so that was reminding. So like Lagavulin, so I have a couple of like interesting it's more the older stuff I have is more Isla. So this is a 2013, 2016, 2020 Kalila Feis Iles. Down here I have some older-ish Lagavulins. This is a 2016 Feis Ile. Or 2017. This is a 2018 distillery bottling. This is a 2018 Jazz Fest. And then I have another, this is a 2017 Jazz Fest. So like a couple like older-ish Lagavulins, but not really other than the White Horse being the oldest. I got a couple Brooklotti Black Arts. I have some really old Glenmorangies. Like, this is an interesting one. So I have the whole collection of these. These are 12-year-old Glenmorangies. This is a Burgundy wood. If you can see this, there's a port wood, a sherry wood, and a Madeira wood. These are all, like, probably from the early 2000s. Let's see. I mean, they're very dusty. Let's see what the bottle. I mean, yeah, look at the label on these. I mean, these are old Glenmos. I think these are from the early 2000s. They're not very, very old. 43%. I got a couple Balvenie tunes, but not old ones. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta second batch of the Glenmorangie cask strength. Maybe we could. I've heard Peter's a generous guy. So, we'll see. Yeah. Booker's Rye. Hell, oh, man. That's a good one to have, man. Had one of the old full tree box pastries. Don't think it's one. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. I didn't know, man. I was just like, I saw it there, and there's no date scan. Like, they're not one of those distilleries that puts the scan on the bottle. And I'm thinking to myself, like, shit, do I just buy this? Like, do I just buy it and see what happens? But I wasn't quite convinced that it was going to be something that was that old. And so, like I said, I tucked it away. Maybe I'll go back. We'll see. I can't imagine you do. Rare bourbons. Yeah, well, yeah, your Texas whiskey thing is on fleek, man. Anyway, so just to recap, y'all, as much as I would hate to tell people to go second in red, if you see this Boonehaven red wine Bordeaux, you got to buy this on site. This is fantastic whiskey. I do have another bottle, which was a wise move because it's really that good. The Manzanilla, though, also, like, if you see this out in the shops, if you see it under 200, I'd say grab it. It's really that good. What time are we at? No, we're an hour and a half in. Okay. I'm getting there. Best value single malt in the last 10 years may have been the Bobbler 90 second, 140 Canadian. Dude, bro, I hear you. I have got it right here. I got two of them for 150 4 years ago. Yeah, that's one of the best deals I've had. The absolute best deal I've ever got is right above my head. It's the Lafroig 28. I think I've probably told the story before, but I'll tell it again. So my brother, my younger brother, he's a bourbon guy. And so periodically he'll be out and about hunting for bourbons and will send me pictures of scotches. He found a dark cove out in the wild once and was like, "You want this?" I was like, "Yep." So one day he sends me a picture. Most of the time, let me just rephrase this. Most of the time he sends me pictures of like all these like rare scotches, and I'm like, yeah, I don't got the money for this, So he sent me one day a picture of the Lafroig 28-year-old. And I was like, ha, again, how many does he have? How much is he selling it for? And he says, he's selling it for $199. So my next question was, how many bottles does he have? This is a shop. Keep this in mind. He says he's got one. And I was like, okay, buy it. But if he has any others, buy them. So he only had one. For some odd reason, this guy, who is no whiskey idiot, was selling Lafroig 28 bottle at MSRP for $199. A bottle of Lafroig 28, these, like in any liquor store ever, anywhere, you're looking at like $700, $800. So I got a Lafroig 28 for $200. And if he had 20 of them, I would have bought all 20. I would have maxed out a credit card. I would have taken out a bank loan. I would have been like, this guy's crazy. I'll buy all of his Lafroig 28s. He only had one, but he sold it to my brother. And it wasn't even like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge thing, or like, hey, you're my buddy, so I'll sell it to you cheap. This dude was legit trying to get rid of this bottle. $200. I have not opened it yet. I'm saving it for a special occasion. It's right above my head. But yeah, Lafroig 28, $200. You believe that? I'm sure everybody has a story, though. If anybody's got anyone, you drop it in the chat of like just coming across a bottle that you knew you should have paid double, triple more, and ended up getting a good deal on. It happens. Rarely, but it happens. This was an example for me. I will tell you a recent example that's close. So here I am. I'm living now in Chicago, Illinois. Home of Binny's, great liquor store. But not every Binny's is great, right? You got to go to the good Binny's. And so there's a good Binny's, and it's over in a neighborhood called Lakeview, which is not, maybe 10 miles from me across the city. So I go over to Lakeview Binny's. This was within the first week I was here. And they have a room. They have this like room. You got to go in with security with all their like, awesome bottlings of this, that, and whatever, So you go in and I'm looking and I'm like, nothing really all that interesting. It's the good stuff, but like the prices aren't interesting, to be clear. Well, suddenly I see the Cavalans, okay? And then I see that Cavalan and that Cavalan. So the first one I see is the Muscatel Cavalan Solus. That's a $700 bottle. $600, $500 if you find it cheap. They're selling it for $200. There's one there. It's there by itself, $200. So I'm like, fuck. It's on sale, $200. And they had a sale thing on it. So I was like, oh shit, I should probably buy this. And then I see the Fino, Solus Fino. That one's around $450, $500. They're selling that for $200. And I'm like, they got one of each of these. So I grabbed the Fino and I walked out and I'm walking around the liquor store looking at other stuff. And I go back to the guy. I'm like, yo, I got to go back in there, swap it out for the Muscatel. Now I'm walking around with the Muscatel and I'm like, looking at my phone, reading about it. I'm like, oh, fuck, this is a fucking deal. And looking at some other stuff, putting stuff back because I'm like, I got to buy this. And then I'm like, dude, don't be stupid. Just buy both of these. So I'm like, you got to let me back in there. So I walked out with Cavalan Solus Muscatels, Cavalan Solus Fino for under $500 for both, right? Shit just happens sometimes, right place, right time, as Whiskey Ace was saying. And I just got my hands on two Cavalans that I would never have a bottle of in my life. Added it. I got the Solus Bourbon. I got this Vino Barrique. I got the Solus Port. I got 3 barrel pick Solus Sherrys behind them. Now all of a sudden I got 2 amazing new Cavalans that I paid. I mean, yeah, I had to pay $45 sales tax, but it's Chicago. What are you going to do? Still, it's fucking cheap. So what am I going to do? Had to do it. I'm glad I came to my senses. $100%. Oh yeah, it's the best. It's the best deal I've ever had, and I'll never get another deal on. I mean, it was insane. I thought my brother was lying to me. Like I thought he was lying. I'm like, who sells a $28-year-old Lafroig for $200? This guy's a legit liquor store owner. Like he's not stupid. Like he knows, like how much things are worth. And I've been in his store before. He had Balvenie tons for $400, like anybody would. And he sold this 28-year-old Lafroig to my brother for fucking $200. You got to be ready when it happens, right? For real, Gene, for real. Oh yeah, 100%. Yes, it is the one near Goose Island. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Sherry. Whiskey Exchange has barrel select sherries for 130, 120 pounds. Or no, Whiskey World. And then you pay like another $35 shipping. It's worth it. I have 3 of them. They're some of the best whiskey you'll ever have. Buy without hesitation. Sherry Solist, Oloroso Sherry Solist is fucking killer. But yeah, man, you know, every once in a while you just run into a deal. Y'all, I got to go take a, as we say in the whiskey tube world, I got to go take a quig. So I'm going to just step away real quick, get some more water, do all that jazz. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to bust this out because I kind of feel like, since we were talking about it, Gene, I don't know how the international shipping situation is in your neck of the woods, but I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'm going to tell everybody else on this channel right now. Whiskey World, which has way better shipping cost prices than Whiskey Exchange. They are in the UK. They have a whole bunch of Cavalan routinely. Cavalan Solus single cask store pick. I mean, these are barrel picks that they do. Sherries. These are like between 5 to 7 years old, but you know, it's Taiwan. This one's 59.4%. Selected exclusively for them. I have 3 of these. And there's a reason for it. It's one of the best sherry whiskeys you'll ever have in your life. And it's not that expensive comparatively. Let's get into it. Because once I bought 1 bottle of this, I quickly realized I don't want to live a life without any bottles of this. That's how good their barrel picks are, and that's how good this cask strength sherry is. This is bottle 124 of 421. It is close to 7 years old. Look at the color on this. That's a 6 to 7 year old whiskey. I mean, that's what happens when you're in a climate like Taiwan. But if you are a Cavalan fan of any stripe and Whiskey World will deliver to you, get on that website. Save your pennies, order this stuff. This is one of the best sherried whiskeys, if not the best sherried whiskey you will ever have in your life. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. For those in the back, look at that. This is literally USD 150 bucks. I think this rival, you could go toe to toe, and I'm going to do a whole sherry blind thing on my channel. So if you've yet to, do subscribe, I'm going to do a whole blind sherry thing. This is going to be part of it. I mean, this will go toe to toe with a old Glendronach Allardyce. It's that good. Get that. Fuck around and find out with Cavalan. Whiskey World, yes. Whiskey World, Whiskey World, Whiskey World. Just look for the store. Just look for the Whiskey World bottle picks of Cavalan Oloroso Sherry. This is what dreams are made of. Casks are king, y'all. Age statement is important. ABV, important. All of this stuff is important. But at the end of the day, the cask is king. And let me tell you right now, and by the way, Whiskey Ace, I just saw you comment that. They will ship this to your house. I've lived in PA. I was in Philly. Dude, this is the best heavily sherried whiskey I've ever had. And I know I keep saying ever had quite a bit, so I might be losing some credibility. But let me be very, very explicit. This is better than a Glendronach 18 Allardyce that's 24 years old. I would say. If you like a good heavy Oloroso sherry bomb, this will beat any Aberlour Abuna that you'll ever buy. You can buy this. This is a 5-year-old whiskey. Aged in the best casks ever. And then it's Cavalan. So this is literally in Taiwan that the accumulative age of this in Scotland would probably be upwards of a 20-some-year-old whiskey. And you can get these for less than $200 shipped USD right now on Whiskey World. Buy them. Because if you don't, I continually will. And I have 3 of them already, and I'm going to continue to do it. Because this is one of the best whiskey deals I've found on the internet in the last 6 months. Look at the color of this. Look at this. That is a 5-year-old whiskey. I told you what you can do, but if you don't do it, that's on you. From New Jersey, so maybe I can ship to my... Yes, you can, for sure. They'll ship it to New Jersey, no doubt. Right? Whiskey World is shipped to New Jersey, 100%. I lived in Philly. It's government stores in Philly. They ship to Philly, and they show up in less than a week. Go on their website, look for Cavalan. You will find these, man. You will find these. Buy them. They're stupid cheap. They're criminally cheap. Like this should not be the price that it is. Oh my God, I can't even imagine what a Virgin Oak Cavalan would be like. Vinho Barrique. Hell yeah. Indy Fino. Yeah. It's like Robust. Were you trying to say Robitussin? Dude, I mean, again, for the folks in the back, look at this is natural color. It says it. Look. Non-chill filtered. Natural color. It says it right there. This is a natural color, non-chill filtered whiskey. They do not play. It's fucking Cavalan. Fuck around and find out. Yes, it is. 100%. Dude, this is what I'm saying. Plus, you'll pay here's the thing. It's economies of scale. So if you order that okay, first of all, $153 for this? That's free. This should be, come on. You will not find a quality Cavalan at that price. And then you'll pay $30 shipping. But here's the thing. You order 2, you'll pay $45 shipping. So look at around their website, buy a couple things, but dude, don't slouch on this. This is, I'm telling you, this is the Sherry Cavalan. This is the Sherry whiskey you want in your life. I don't think I have, I have a 21-year-old cask strength Glenfarclas. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying it for a point of comparison. I have a 15-year-old Glenfarclas. I have 24-year-old Allardyces. I have, seriously, like, old Abuna Aberlours. I would take this over any of those. Any of them. This is the ultimate sherry bomb whiskey that I've ever had. And at $150, fucking single cask strength, it's not even a question. I mean, I have 3 of them for a reason. I'm trying to think of anything that, like, anything here that I have that's even a comparison. Let me see. No. A bunch of Farklases. Okay, Teapot Dram, maybe. Let's see the Springbanks. Okay, well, but Springbank is its own thing. I think sherry bombs. Ben Romix. Let's see. Ben Romick cask strength. No, not even that. Nah, man. There's nothing. Go on Whiskey World. Just buy yourself 2 bottles of this. Pay the shipping. Pay your fucking $170 a bottle and find out, and you won't be disappointed. Yep. Yep. Exactly. I mean, you taste a lot of sherry, there's no doubt. But it still has character. Like, this is the thing, right? Like, it doesn't taste like you're drinking a glass of wine. Maybe you could argue that it should have a little bit more malt character. To each his own. But I will say that, like, for something as heavily sherried as this, it still tastes like a whiskey to me. Oh, God. Let's see. Let's take a look. There's the Froke. The Froke is darker. The Froke is darker. Yeah, for sure. The Froke is darker. But this is what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't say that this tastes like, you just bought a bottle of Oloroso sherry and you're just sucking on it. Like, it's not. It has a maltiness. It has distinct distillery character. So take that for what it's worth. Yeah, that's a good one. I think you should probably just get Glengoyne 25. So I have a Glengoyne 25. That would be an interesting comparison. I don't know, but Glengoyne 25 is like 4 times the price of this. That's the thing, right? Yeah. Peter White knows what up. Yes. Yes, I have a couple of them. Yeah, I have like 4 of them somehow. And Balikins, the peated version. Yeah. I mean, this is on par with that quality level. I think this is Edgerdara quality level. Not taking every Calvin or Springbanks that have more funky. Well, that's true. I mean, Springbank, like I was saying when I was looking at the Springbank is its own animal. I totally agree with you, Cohen. Yeah. Gary. Gary's the man. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Nope, not at all, brother. It's a French oak Texas whiskey called from a distillery called Balcones. Daniel H is the person who talked about that. I'm sure he's already responded to you. Oh, good deal. Yeah, it's gonna be terrifying. Mm-hmm. Froke. I bet, dude. Yeah, you got a 4-year Froke? Holy shit, man! Daniel just sent me this. It's like a 3.5 years. It's a store pick of the French oak, and because I had the regular one, and it was just incredible. But let me tell you, y'all, Whiskey World, pull your pennies together, get yourself this Cavalan. It's that good. There's nothing. This is a 4.75 out of 5 whiskey, if not a 5. I mean, I don't know if there's a shared whiskey that's better than this. I really don't. And including that price, like I'm getting the nice surge of vanilla now. Fuck. Let me see. So this one I think is. Yeah, this is 7 years, man. They're 7-year-olds. They're fucking store. These are 6 or 7-year-old single casks, Cavalans for $150. What? Don't slouch on this, y'all. You're gonna regret it. 59.4%. I swear this drink's like it's butter. This was bottled August 6th, or no, I'm sorry, June 8th, 2019. It was distilled December 23rd, 2008. So this is like almost an 11. This is almost an 11-year-old whiskey. Are you fucking kidding me? Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? This was literally bottled December 23rd, 2008, and distilled December 23rd, 2008. This was bottled August 6th of 2019. Are you hearing me? This is literally almost a 11-year-old whiskey for $150. Single cask, cask strength, non-chill filtered, natural color. I can't do any more. I have 3 of these for a reason. Yes. No, I agree. But like literally year, month, day, 08/12/23 is the distillation date. 08/12/23. Bottling date 1986. That's almost 10 years old. 2008, 2019. December, August. This is a 10.5-year-old whiskey. Cask strength, non-chill filtered, natural color, 59.4%, $155 plus shipping on that website. Are you kidding? What can you do? This is a Cavalan Solist cask strength single cask non-chill filtered natural color, one of 421 bottles. It is 10 years old. It's literally like drinking butter. And you can buy this because it is a barrel pick from the Whiskey World. The Whiskey World UK website. They will ship to the United States. You can buy multiples of these. They're probably about $150 a piece US. But listen to me again. This is a 10-and-a-half-year-old whiskey. This is cask strength. This is non-chill filtered natural color. This looks like this. This is a Cavalan. You can buy these, and they will ship it to your house. Tell me another whiskey you're going to get that quality, those specs on. Yes. It's basically the Solist. It's before they don't call it the Solist because it's like a store pick. They just call it cask strength. But yes, it's a single cask. It says single cask on here. Non-chill filtered, natural color. Yeah. You can buy these on Whiskey World. These are Whiskey World picks. You can buy them right now for $150. What are you going to do? You know, it's worth it. Rob, what's up, Rod? How are you, man? Beer fans, if you like beer and don't want to just listen to me yell about Cavalans all night, go to and sub Rod J Beer Ventures. Rod, I'm closer to your neck of the woods now these days. I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I think I'm closer. Bro, first I want to just like give the heads up to you, man, because you told me you gave me the heads up that there's a 16-year-old bourbon cask shibboleth Foursquare out there. Man, $140, that's rough. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I have to at some point because like that sounds like the best rum ever. And as folks know, I have a healthy collection of Foursquares down here. We'll see. You should. You definitely should. You definitely should. Because this is stupid. You should get, it really depends what you like, but you should get, first of all, get anything you can. If you're going to be choosy, don't get the Vinho Barrique or the Oloroso Sherry or the Port. Look for the more obscure ones. The Fino, look for the Muscatel, look for the Amontillado. The Amontillado, if you could get the Amontillado, which is like an $800 bottle in the U.S., if you could get that on his way back from Taiwan, that's a money shot right there. Avoid, the bourbon cask and stuff. You don't, I mean, those are good. I'm not saying they're not good. Obviously, listen to what I've been saying about this. But you definitely, you want to look for the more rare ones if there's good price exchanges. So, Fino, Amontillado, if they have they don't have a Malbec, obviously the Muscatel, if you can get it. There's one other one that you're going to want to look for, and the name is escaping me. But the Amontillado is like one of the kings of that line. If you can get that, you're sitting pretty. Good. Good, man. Great to hear, brother. Always great to have you in the house, man. Thanks for swinging through. Slouch. All right, y'all. I mean, I don't know where to go from here. And I mean this literally. Like, the Cavalan Solis are so damn good. I'm like reaching. By the way, on Tuesday, for folks who may be new to the channel, I'm going to be taking a more in-depth look at the Glenmorangie Signet. A lot of people they're haters on the Glenmorangie. That's fine. I love Glenmorangie. I'm going to be doing the Signet on Tuesday. So if you are around, do join us for that. And if you're not subbed yet, smash that sub or smash that thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this video, because it'll be a lot of fun to stay connected and hang out on Tuesday. It's all about the community after all. Even when I'm sitting here preaching about Cavalans. Fuck yes, it is. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yes, for sure. Yeah, man. I am in Chicago. I'm in Logan Square neighborhood, but yeah, dude, let's do that. Let's stay in touch, man. That would be amazing. I'm really close to a Revolution Brewing site, so if I'm sure you've had plenty of their beers, but man, they make good stuff. And if you're ever interested, man, we could totally go grab a few. That would be a lot of fun, Rob. Cheers, buddy. Oh, the Enoch. Yeah, the Enoch 24. That was my whiskey of the year last year. For good reason. It's amazing. But hell yeah, Rod. For sure, brother. Paige. What's up, bro? Spios. I found one randomly in the wild. If you don't find one in the next couple months, let me know. I'll send you a sample. I did find one in the wild in Jersey, of all places. It was random, super random and weird, but it happened. Hell yeah, definitely. Yes. Oh, the PX. Yeah. The PX and the Amontillado are like prized possessions of Cavalan. So if you can get your hands on those, do it. The Manzanilla I don't know as much about, but I know the other two. Yeah, those are ones you want to get your hands on. Oh man, this is just too good. It's too good. I've given you all the info. You buy it, it's on you. If you don't, I feel bad. I get it. It's not cheap, but it's worth the investment, man. I'm telling you, this is. It's magic. So we're hitting that 2-hour mark. Are we? Yeah, 9:30. Okay. All right, y'all. I am going to wind things down a little bit. I gotta go do some things. But it's been fun hanging out. Before you guys head out, if you're not a subscriber, I would love your support. Smash that sub button. If you are and we're just hanging out, we'd love you to hit the thumbs up on your way out the door. Appreciate it. I'll be back on Tasty Tuesday. As always, happy hour, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. We're checking out Glenmorangie Signet and a sample sent by Daniel. That'll be a lot of fun. We're going to get into some of that. And then, of course, if you haven't seen it, I got another whiskey review. I will be. Yeah. She's waiting, so, I don't want to keep her there too long. I told her I had important business to attend to, so yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate the love, man. You guys are all great. Everybody stay safe tonight. Be well, and if I don't see you before that, I'll see you on Tuesday for the happy hour. And if you haven't seen it yet, Old Pulteney 15 review dropped today. Go check that out. It's a whiskey worth looking for, y'all. Much love, everybody. Peace.